Before I begin the video, I just want to flag, as always, that I am not a qualified financial advisor and nothing I say should be considered as financial advice. Hello, I'm the Jolly Saver and welcome back to my channel, and this is my Stocks and Shares ISA update for September 2024. So if you're new to this video series, what I am doing is just charting and tracking my own investment journey. So I regularly contribute to my Stocks and Shares ISA, and I just report on this video series how much I contribute, how much the market goes up by, and what my final balance is. So at the end of August, I had an investment balance of £8,157. So let's have a look at the figures for September. So started with that £8,157. I then contributed £50. So I bought £50 worth of investments. I then had an income return of 1p, so I didn't get paid any dividends this month, and the only money I got was any interest that accrued on the cash that was in my account. So cash goes as part of my, I have a portion of my account which has cash in it sometimes before I buy funds, and that small amount of money accrues interest. I don't know what the rate is with the platform that I use, but yeah, that's just why there's a few pennies that accrues when I'm not actually getting dividends. Then the market gain / loss. So last month I talked about how it was pretty flat in terms of return, and again I saw something similar this month. So it went up by £17, so it went down by £19 last month, up by £17 this month. So you can see since June it's been pretty flat in terms of any growth in my investments. So the market gain is 0% this month. So in terms of how much I gained divided by my portfolio balance, it was 0%. Fees, I didn't have to pay any fees for the platform I use this month, and that meant that the cumulative returns, so what I have, cumulative returns, which is the difference between what I paid for my investments and what they are currently worth, is £1,463, which is great news, because for me this is all about long-term investing and starting to see that impact of compound interest, hopefully. So you can see there that these cumulative returns are starting to build. The end balance was 8,224, which is again really good news for me. So I've talked about this before in the past. My goal is to have this investment portfolio go from 4 figures to 5 figures, so hitting that £10,000 mark of investments. And currently I am only investing a kind of less than £100 a month, and that is because I'm prioritizing building a emergency fund, but also paying for some things I've got in my personal life going on, some luxuries that I'm paying for. So the hope is that when we come to the end of this year and when I get my January pay, I'm hoping to ramp up how much I'm investing regularly. But the great news, what I find from investing small amounts, is that I've really got used to having the habit stick, and also get used to the fluctuations in the stock market. That I guess if I was investing big amounts from the off, I might feel a bit more worried when it fluctuates up and down as it naturally does. So then overall figures, so as I said, I've contributed, since I've invested, I've contributed £6,761. The market gains being £1,463, and my current balance is £8,224. Out of all the months I've been investing, so I've been investing for 64 months now, 60% of those months has seen the my investments go up in value, and 25 of them, so 40% of them, I've seen the investments go down in value. So it really just gives us this idea that over the long term, I'm going to see lots of fluctuation, because at the moment I don't talk about the individual fund I invest in, but I do invest in a global index fund within a stocks and shares ISA. And as part of the fund I've chosen, you know, there is a lot of kind of risk there in terms of, you know, day to day there are fluctuations in terms of that value. And I think the thing with investing, what I've learned is that it's really about finding what your risk tolerance is. So my investments that I've chosen at the moment, I'm quite fit what my risk tolerance is, because I've been investing for nearly 5 years now, small amounts, and I've really learned that about myself, about how I view risk. So the final thing to just note is I've got this this chart which just shows, you know, how my investment balance when I started and how they've you know, how it's increased over time. So the increases that I see here is a mix of me contributing more, but also some investment returns, so investments going up in value. You can see here, and I like to reflect on it every month, but one of the key learning points in my journey was at this point here. So in October 22 I had 6,000 in, and up until that point it had been a sort of linear trajectory. You know, I'd always been going up, but then, you know, I didn't have big enough emergency fund, so I had to withdraw the best part of £2,000. So it was like I had to take myself back to where I was a year prior. So it really hampered my motivation and my enthusiasm about doing it. So one of the lessons I've learned there is that I'm better to stick with a habit, so invest every month and prioritize small amounts in the short term, just so that I build up my emergency fund so I don't make this mistake again. And yeah, just to really get that investment habit going, because really what I want to do for my personal finance choice, and this is again my personal choice, it's not advice, is I want every month to be investing, to be overpaying my mortgage, and to be contributing to an emergency fund. So that they are my priority every single month, and that's what I have been doing for the past few months. So I'm really starting to build the habits that I want to continue in the future. So that is my update for September 2024. Really getting closer to that £10,000 mark. And yeah, if you've got any comments, then leave them down in the comments box down below, and I'll see you on the next video.